Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. This is the match reaction following the Wolves 1, Newcastle United 1 at the Molineux. Newcastle pick up a point away from home with a fantastic winner. Saint-Max scores an absolute blinder of a goal. I think we're on to win goal of the month on our own, to be honest. Goal of the season. Shaw's goal, Maxi's goal. A truly fantastic strike. Gets Newcastle the point. I am a little bit late to recording this if you've been keeping up with me. I've been on holiday. I've got back in, had the game on record, just finished watching it now, and I said it this morning that it was not going to be an easy game, and I think a point is decent. I actually believe that if anyone was going to win that game, it should have been us. We had more of the ball. I thought we had more chances going forward. The problem is, as it has been and is something we will probably continue to talk about, that creation, that cutting edge to put the ball in the back of the net. And it was always going to be tough when Bruno is not in the squad. It was rumoured this morning that he'd picked up an injury. It's now been confirmed that he could be out for a few games. Hopefully that is 1 or 2 games, not 5 or 6, because I do think Bruno makes that big of a difference. And Alexander Isak was not part of the squad either. It's understood that there were some issues with work permits. So you're going into the game with, arguably, our best player and what is possibly going to be our best striker up front. It was never going to be easy. Having said that, I thought we battled hard. I thought Joe Linton looked really good. I seen a stat that Sven Botman is still yet to not win an aerial duel in the Premier League. And I even said this morning that it was going to take something special. I went 1-0 to Newcastle in my prediction, and I wasn't too far off that I predicted that, even if we can't quite get something special going forward, someone will sort it out. Whether it's a Trippier free kick or a Shaw wonder goal. It took a Maxi wonder goal to put the ball in the back of the net. And in fairness, they scored a pretty good goal as well, didn't they? I mean, both goals are probably the topic of conversation. 2 really good ones. I mean, Maxi has pulled it out the bag, and I'm really happy for him. He was fantastic against Manchester City. He was fantastic with that strike again today. If we can get him a little bit of confidence, he is a really good player. As I say, I think we finished off on 63% possession for the game. I thought second half we looked good going in 1-0 down at half time. I was slightly worried, and I did wonder where the goal was going to come from. We had, I think, over 20 shots in that game. Only 6 were on target, and one of those was the goal. So it's great that we're getting the ball forward, that we are having these shots at goal. It just takes a Callum Wilson, who we didn't have on the pitch. It takes an Isak, who we didn't have on the pitch. In fairness, I thought Chris Wood did okay today. I think he does lead the line well. I think he is a handful. I just sometimes question how he kind of suits the way we're trying to play, which isn't his fault. But, as I say, we lack that cutting edge. And again, 1-0 down at half-time. We knew it was going to be tough, and we took it all the way to the 90th minute for Maxi to score the goal. And even then, we could have had the winner. Right at the end with all of that added time, I actually thought maybe we could. Well, I knew we didn't nick anything because I'd already seen the score and I was watching it late. But still watching it, I was thinking, could we possibly get something? I did have my notifications on my phone turned off so that I didn't spoil it for myself. But around the time I knew the game had ended, I gave into temptation and just thought, screw it, what's the score? And I saw that it was 1-1, but I still watched through to the end, and as I say, we made a few good substitutions in that game. I thought Target and Fraser both coming on at the same time around the 65th minute worked really well. I think, Dan Burn is a great player, and I think he has done well at covering left back, but there's no question for me that Target's the better player. I thought Elliot Anderson comes on and looks good. He wants the ball, he wants to make something of it, and you can tell how hard he's trying in there. On the other side, and as I mentioned already, I thought Botman looked good, and I think Botman and Joe Linton just battle. Don't they? The battle for everything, and it shows, and especially in a game like today where I would say we were the best. I would say we were the better team, but ultimately it wasn't a particularly pleasing game to watch from either sides. Really, I thought we battled hard. I thought Joe Linton battled hard. I thought Botman battled hard. We had the majority of possession, but when you just need that little bit of something special, I thought when Anderson came on, he looked good. And as I say, Longstaff for me didn't have the greatest of games, and it just goes back to this final week of the window, doesn't it? Because yes, Fraser and Targett came on, Anderson came on, but he's still a 19-year-old lad, and we're already trying to. And don't get me wrong, if they're good enough, they should play, and I think he is good enough. And for me, I would potentially be looking at him ahead of Longstaff at the moment, based on form. And I know Longstaff's a local lad, and we want to see him do well. But he hasn't looked too great recently, and I would be again very tempted to see what we can do in this last week of the window, because the minute Wilson's injured, Isak can't play, Bruno can't play, you know, we're straight away the squad depth we've got just isn't there. And I know it's tough to bring in. You can't just have a Man City. It's tough for some teams to be able to bring players in and go, right, you're a top-class player. This is why Dubravka wants to leave. You're a top-class player. Can you come and sit on the bench over here while we play Bruno, Joe Linton and Willock? It's not that easy to do that. Man City do it because they've got Champions League, they've got all these tournaments, and they rotate so well. And I think we will definitely need to rotate with the cup games and what's going to be a very pressured season with the World Cup in the middle of it. And we are really just 2 windows into a new era with a new owner. But we need more off that bench. We need more to bring on when things aren't quite going right. And you do need to kind of bring something out of this side. Turn to the bench. And as I say, Anderson came on and did really well. But it would help to just have that little bit more coming on. And as I say, although at times we didn't look the best, we took a point. We're still undefeated for the season. We know we won the first game, we've drawn the last 3, and sometimes it is just as satisfying to watch your team go out there and go to Wolves, who, yes, haven't been playing great, but are clearly a decent side. You know, I think they are struggling at the start of this season. I think is that 10 or 11 games now they haven't won in the Premier League, so they are on a real bad bit of form to end last season and to start this season. But at the end of the day, we've gone down there and we've got a point. And I think it's a decent point. If you'd offered me a point at the start of the day, I would have said, you know what, that wouldn't be too bad. I was hoping that this was the kind of game we could have gone down to and we could have picked up 3 points. But as I say, when you haven't got Isak, when you haven't got Bruno, it suddenly is a very different game. And you're asking for other players to stand up and do something. And Maxi did that. I just think we could do with a couple of others as well. And I will also add that I thought the referee was shocking today, which is nothing new, because that just seems to be the way of, I was going to say Premier League football, but just generally in England. It's not great right now, is it? But let me know your thoughts on the game down below. Let me know your thoughts on the point down below. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and like the video. Daily uploads right now. We've got a game against Liverpool midweek away. We've got Crystal Palace at the weekend. And in between all of that, we're trying to bring in some new players before the start of the season. We've already started the season as quickly as we can before we get into the rest of the season. And as I say, I'll be uploading every day on every bit of news, so don't miss it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below. Maxi's goal. And I'll catch you later.